Hello, welcome back to the garden. Today's video is all about successful seed starting. I'm going to show you the most efficient and easiest way that I've found to start seedlings so that they have the most success and happiness in the garden. This year I have found my stride with ease and efficiency. My goal is to eliminate any unnecessary moves and expenses to make this a bit more sustainable and enjoyable. First question, why would I start seedlings indoors? And the first answer to that should be because you enjoy it and you want to. Second, the success rate of seedlings is much, much higher when you can start them off in a controlled environment from the very beginning of their life. For example, I started these carrots about 6 weeks ago. Outside, in this container, I planted the same carrots at the same time. And if we zoom in, you can see we've got some little baby sprouts coming up. And they will grow successfully, but just not as successfully because we have lower lighting, sometimes subject to cloudy days, some cold, some wind, and the most challenging part, the damage from the squirrels. Cute as those little buggers are, they have been digging holes all over my garden. And no matter what I've done, they just keep coming back. I bought these little balls on Amazon that are supposed to deter squirrels. I even sprinkled cayenne pepper in the garden beds, which seems to help just a little bit, but not so much. I live in a small house, so the first thing I needed to consider was space. This right here is my efficiency setup. Step 1. A heat mat and no light. A humidity dome or just a simple piece of plastic. Make sure that you cover it so it doesn't get light and it holds the heat and moisture in. And then as soon as you see a little baby sprout, check in under there every day. Let's check. Check under there. And if you see a sprout or two, you will immediately take the dome and the cover off, take it off the heat mat and move it down to the next shelf. If they stay on the heat mat under that much humidity and without light, they will begin to grow very leggy. What do I mean by leggy? Well, these here were started and spent an extra day under the humidity dome on the heat mat, and as you can see, their stems grew really high up, which we want to avoid. We want our seedlings to be nice and stout in the beginning and then continue growing with really thick, healthy stems. So after step 1 germinating, take them off the heat mat and place them underneath some lighting that is only about 2 or 3 inches above the plant. Another really essential element of this for me was to make sure that I wasn't spending a lot of money unnecessarily. I'll spend it where it's important, but I was curious if lighting really would be such a wallet buster. A few years ago, I invested in this really amazing grow light, and it's worked wonders, but it was over $150 for that one light. I had heard that shop lights would work just as efficiently, so I went ahead and gave it a try. I ordered these from Amazon, and I will add the link below here for these lights. The reason why I chose these lights is a couple of reasons. They are just simple. Simple is my favorite. And also, let's see if we can get in here and see. And you can actually switch these both on different temperature of lighting, and I keep mine at 5,000 to 6,500. and another switch over here that allows you to make it brighter or dimmer. If you're curious about the efficiency of grow lights like I was, do I need one of these expensive ones, or will shop lights work? What's the difference? Well, the first example I have are these squash plants grown solely under these shop lights. And then I also did a side-by-side test to see some beets grown under the shop lights and then some grown under this $150 grow light system. It's fabulous. It's from Epic Gardening. Ultimately though, this bed was planted with beets grown both Epic Growing Light system and under shop lights, and honestly when I look at them I can't tell the difference. So there's the results of that study. Now the plants obviously like 5,000 to 6,500 at the highest light, and then they were super easy to hang. I went ahead and added another section over here for step 3. I angled the light because it has to be multi-purpose for these bigger seedlings, and then also these babies. The plants will continue to grow up. I do plan on potting these up because I still have about 3 weeks before they can go outdoors. And we're gonna use this sunflower baby, which is in the biggest part, the biggest growing part, and this is just that extra space I have for when plants are getting really too big. So let's find out, how do we get this guy outdoors? First, take him outside. Step 4 is hardening off. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I am guilty of occasionally just skipping this step and putting them right in the garden. Now, why do we harden things off? Well, the elements and the sun can be pretty intense for seedling babies who have never seen the outdoors. So just as a comparison, I wanted to see. Right, so here are my beets that I raised indoors and then recently did the hardening off and transplanted, and a couple babies over here that you can see are really struggling. It just puts them behind, their leaves, everything just gets a little fried. So now I know and I can see the difference, and if you were wondering, well, do I have to? You probably should. So there are 2 ways to harden off. First, just set them outside to enjoy the sunshine and the elements for about 3 to 7 days. 3 days is minimum, 7 days is best. What you'll do is just bring it out here, let it sit under the sun, and listen to the birds for about 6 to 8 hours every day, and then you'll bring them inside. Alternatively, you can also store them in the cold frame. This allows me to be able to control the environment, the temperature, keep it more closed on cold days, prop it open when it needs some airflow. Inside this cold frame, I'm able to grow a bunch of lettuce and spinach. I also have some beets coming up. I put some peas in here. Peas don't, I think I was just doing it for fun, and also pea shoots are really good in salad. So there is my seedling setup. Just a couple of tiers that you can use to progress your seedlings through the growing phases. Starting first with a heat mat and germination dome, moving down underneath some intense lighting and maybe saving yourself a couple of dollars. Graduating your seedlings through the phases of growth, giving them a little more space, maybe even potting up. And finally making their way outdoor for the rest of their life cycle, all the way through harvest and then into the compost. Thanks for joining me in the garden today. I hope that this gave you some ideas or tips for simplifying your garden space, making it more enjoyable, more successful. I'd really love to hear what you guys have started indoors or will be starting outdoors. What seeds are you growing this year? Leave it in the comments below, and let's just share all of our tips and make this the best growing season ever. May God bless your garden, your home, your heart, and your life. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.